Glad to have you join us this afternoon. This is our second major news bulletin for the day right here on Flo 94.9 FM. It is Flo News at noon, and this is the flow of God's own state. My name is Michael Oni. The headlines. Former President Obasanjo writes President Buhari expresses fears over insecurity in Nigeria. Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka advocates for national conference to address unity of Nigeria. Senator Orji Kalu warns politicians against playing politics with sensitive national issues. And on the foreign scene, South Africa's Jacob Zuma insists corruption allegations are a conspiracy against him. The details shortly. We begin this afternoon on security matters as former President Olusegun Obasanjo has written an open letter to President Muhammadu Buhari saying Nigeria is on the precipice of dangerously reaching a tipping point where it may no longer be possible to hold danger at bay. The former president revealed that he was worried about the state of insecurity in the country, having fought in the Nigerian civil war and also having a son who is fighting Boko Haram. He further said when people are desperate and feel that they cannot have confidence in the ability of the government to provide security for their lives and properties, they will take recourse to anything and everything can guarantee their security individually and collectively. Zamfara State Police Command has refuted allegations that bandits attacked witnesses of presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Atiku Abubakar, who were traveling to Abuja to testify against the victory of President Muhammadu Buhari as the winner of the presidential election. The police were reacting to reports by some national dailies which claimed that the witnesses said they were attacked by bandits in Zamfara State. The witnesses added that the situation forced them to scamper into the bush and stopped their journey to the Supreme Court to testify for the former vice president against Buhari. The Oni of Ife, Oba Adeyeye Ogunwusi, says it was high time the Southwest Geopolitical Zone united and defended itself against bandits killing the people. Ogunwusi, who stated this who said the Southwest had had enough of the killings by suspected herdsmen, pointed out that the time has come to the end to end the killings. The traditional ruler, who said Yoruba people could no longer fold their hands and allow their people to be slaughtered, urged them to be united at this time and protect their territory. Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka says the federal government has failed in solving Nigeria's problems. Soyinka, who lamented the violence caused by herdsmen through indiscriminate grazing of cattle and the destruction of farmlands, called for national conference where issues relating to Nigeria will be discussed.
Convoke at the same time a national, what I call an indaba, across all sections, in which we all meet and debate everything, including the economy of this nation. I think that's the way to go. I believe very frankly that the problems of this nation are beyond the solution that can be offered by this government.
He maintained that the Muhammadu Buhari-led government can only make an impact by thinking beyond partisan politics. The presidential candidate of the Young Progressives Party, YPP, in the last election, Kingsley Moghalu, says the responses of the present government to the security challenges bedeviling the nation are so weak. Moghalu said that the kind of solutions that are being put on the table is simply inadequate to meet the challenges, insisting that there must be a total restructuring of the country to reflect true federalism in Nigeria.
Problems of disunity, people feeling they want to leave the country. So there's a very deep problem that I agree with him. The kinds of solutions that are being put on the table are simply not adequate to address. Fundamental solution to Nigeria's problems is that Nigeria must be constitutionally restructured to become a true federation along the lines of geopolitical and geoeconomic zones. That's the only way Nigeria can work.
And still on security, the former Assistant Director of State Security Service, Dennis Amakri, believes that addressing fundamental issues like poverty and unemployment will go a long way in curbing insecurity facing the country. Speaking in a monitored television interview, Amakri noted that banditry and kidnapping and other criminality originated from poverty and unemployment.
There is a serious insecurity problem in the country, and we have to understand that. One, there's a lot of the army of unemployed, a lot of poverty in the land, a lot of graduates who are coming out who don't have jobs, and these graduates have a very, very fertile mind of how to get quick money. And then, of course, security problem whereby people cannot even just drive through from Lagos to Ore or something like that. The roads are... Do we address these problems first so that the environment will be safe for everybody?
He, however, urged the federal government to give adequate training to military to enable it perform optimally in the fight against insurgency. Senator representing Abia North Senatorial Zone at the National Assembly, Oji Uzo Kalu, warns politicians in the country to desist from playing politics with sensitive national issues in the interest of the nation. Kalu, who was speaking to newsmen, noted that politicians should deploy their energy on how best to develop the country, which will be in the interest of all Nigerians, irrespective of tribe or religion.
They have kept being criticizing government, criticizing tribes, criticizing everybody. There are too much hatred by politicians among themselves. Everything is politics in Nigeria. When people in Nigeria cannot pick meals to eat, politicians are busy politicizing everything. Anybody you see, nobody talks about interests of Nigeria. Anybody you talks about interests of his village. It's a high time our politicians should start being Nigerian politicians. They should see themselves as people who represent people of Nigeria.
And back home in Abia State, the House of Assembly in its recent sittings has called on the relevant security agents to beef up security in some part of the state to protect Abians. This is following the skirmishes between the people of Umunochi and their immediate neighbors from Ebonyi State and the people of Isu clan in Arochukwu local government area, as well as their immediate neighbors from Cross River State, which has led to loss of lives. While ruling on the matter of urgent public importance, the Speaker, Chinedum Orji, expressed regret over the death which the crisis in both communities had caused and called on the relevant security agents to restore law and order to the affected communities and ensure the prevention of such care crises in the future.
Well, it's part of the challenges of urbanization.
Well, apologies for that mix-up. Now, still in Abia State, the government is poised to addressing the filthy environment within the state capital, UMUAHIA, and Aba to ensure good health of Abians. Speaking to Flo FM News, the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Onyebuchi Ememanka, said the Governor is taking a total review of the situation towards ensuring it is properly addressed.
Well, it's part of the challenges of urbanization, and the government is also working hard to take care of this. And this includes part of the strategy, reviewing the makeup of the team that is in charge this year. So the governor is reviewing, taking a holistic review of the situation.
Flow News at noon continues shortly with business, foreign, and sports news. Do stay tuned.
Get inspired, motivated, and educated as we bring you up to speed on happenings around the globe. Tune in to Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of a successful day, the flow of God's own state. The flow of God's own state.
Well, thank you very much for staying tuned. And now straight to business. The Securities and Exchange Commission has announced plans to collaborate with relevant stakeholders to sensitize investors on the need to regularize their multiple accounts to enable them to claim their dividends. The Acting Director General, Mary Udrok, who spoke during an interview in Abuja, said the Commission had taken various steps to ensure the stakeholders benefited from their investments in the capital markets. And outside the shores of Nigeria, South Africa's ex-president Jacob Zuma told a judge-led inquiry that allegations of corruption against him were a conspiracy aimed at removing him from the political scene. He was appearing for the first time in the inquiry, which is investigating allegations that he oversaw a web of corruption during his first term in office. Zuma was forced to resign as president in February 2018. And in sports, Super Eagles head coach Gernot Rohr believes his team will get better in future following their AFCON 2019 semi-final 2-1 defeat to Desert Foxes of Algeria at the Cairo International Stadium yesterday. The North Africans totally dominated the game, with Manchester City's winger Riyad Mahrez scoring the late winner. The Super Eagles will face the Carthage Eagles of Tunisia in the third-place match on Wednesday. And our sports story wraps it this afternoon on Flow News at noon on Flow 94.9 FM. To end the news, a recap of our major stories. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has written an open letter to President Muhammadu Buhari saying Nigeria is on the precipice and dangerously reaching a tipping point where it may no longer be possible to hold danger at bay. Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka has called for national conference where issues relating to Nigeria will be discussed. Senator representing Abia North Senatorial Zone at the National Assembly, Orji Uzo Kalu, wants politicians in the country to desist from playing politics with sensitive national issues in the interest of the nation. And on the foreign scene, South Africa's ex-president Jacob Zuma told a judge-led inquiry that allegations of corruption against him were a conspiracy aimed at removing him from the political scene. Thanks for being with us. Remember that security is everyone's business. Provide useful information to security agencies to ensure your security. Join us at 6:45 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. every weekday for additional newscast. This is Flow 94.9 FM, the flow of God's own state. You can send your views or information to flowfmnews@gmail.com or visit www.flownews.com.ng for more stories. This bulletin was edited by Ginika Oloha, supervising editor Samson Eze. My name is Michael Oni.